This brand new rental community in Tempe has all the amenities: fitness center, dog park, outdoor kitchens, but something's missing. So there are no cars in this community at all.
Isn't it great?
Cul-de-sac is the first community in the U.S. designed and built specifically for car-free living. Co-founder Ryan Johnson says the demand is strong.
Every generation, and including 92% of Gen Z, would like to pay more to live in a walkable neighborhood.
Retail, restaurants, and to start, nearly 200 apartments, all within steps of each other. No cars means no parking spaces, no garages.
All right, check this out. If Bill Gates gets his way, Arizona could be home to a brand new cutting-edge smart city. A real estate investment firm owned by the computer billionaire recently bought a giant plot of land in the far West Valley for $80 million.
All right, well, billionaire Bill Gates is feeling it. He's dropping some major cash to build a brand new city of the future. Gates snapping up 25,000 acres. Thousands of acres in Arizona. That's huge. Price tag $80 million.
Well, he is, of course, one of the richest men in the world, and he just bought a big piece of land right here in Arizona. But what will billionaire Bill Gates do with 25,000 acres in Tonopah?
Next comes the fun part. The co-founder of Microsoft plans to build a smart city with cutting-edge technology about 50 miles west of Phoenix. 80,000 homes and plenty of room for industry with high-speed data centers and self-driving cars. Are you ready for this, Bill?
Hit me.
The name of the city, the new city, will be Belmont.
Belmont.
Go where you will with that.
How about Gatesville or
Hummersville.
The proposed community will be turned into its own smart city. It'll be designed around high-speed networks, self-driving cars, high-speed digital networks, data centers, and new manufacturing technologies. 3,800 acres will go towards office, commercial, and retail space. 470 acres will be used for public schools. That leaves for room for 80,000 residential units. Now, it's unclear how much Gates will be involved in the project so far. Experts say the land Gates' company has purchased is in a good spot, in part due to the proposed I-11 freeway, which would run right through Belmont and connect to Las Vegas. So far, still no word on when construction will start.
Sprawling metropolis of Phoenix is an unlikely place to build an apartment complex without parking for residents. Car dependency is just part of life for most people there. But a new development in the suburb of Tempe is providing a blueprint for more environmentally friendly and car-free living. Stephanie Sy has this report for our Tipping Point series and our Arts and Culture series, Canvas.
The vast suburbs of Phoenix make driving a necessity for most people who live here.
There's not a drop of asphalt in the project.
But developer Ryan Johnson, who grew up in the area, has a different vision for its future. And it starts with this apartment complex in the city of Tempe.
It's a 1,000-person neighborhood where it's the first car-free neighborhood built from scratch in the U.S.
Car-free meaning no parking spaces for the more than 300 residents.
I love it so far. It's done wonders for my lifestyle.
Raven Ross, a full-time artist, moved to Cul-de-sac last February. When residents sign a lease, they agree to not keep a car at the property.
So how has it been being without a car?
So I take public transit now. So sometimes my bus stop can be like a 13-minute walk, or it can just be a 2-minute walk. So just having that walking time every day that I probably wouldn't normally get if I had a car has been a benefit.
The savings from not having a car can be up to $1,000 a month, and Ross has lost 25 pounds since moving here. Araceli Delgadillo and her family are big on bikes. Even the 5-year-old rides.
How do you take a watermelon back from the grocery store on a bike?
Well, I don't think we've tried that yet. Just the little ones, but not the super big ones. But we have a cargo bike for that now, so probably would work.
She and her husband sold their cars and home to move to Cul-de-sac last July.
We used to have to commute 26 miles every day, twice a day, 5 times a week. It was just so rough on me. So I'd always sit in the passenger and I'd look around and I'd just see everybody kind of like a zombie.
Like miserable and in traffic.
Because we don't have residential parking, it opens us up to have 55% landscape space, and we get to add so much to the neighborhood.
Like social spaces around every corner. The complex is strategically located right next to the area's light rail system. All residents get a free pass. The first 200 also get a free electric e-bike, and a partnership with Lyft gets them discount rides.
I've been fine just going via rail or just biking.
Juan Ramos, among the first 100 to move in here, grew up in Arizona, but left because he didn't like the car-dependent sprawl. At 27, he just came back and says living car-free has opened his eyes.
Frankly, for most of the apartments I've lived in for years, I've never even talked to my neighbors. I know people, like, that's Pete over there, that's Ben over there, and I'm like, that's the first time I've said that.
Residents often gather near the retail stores, which focus on small businesses. Jada Stratman is moving both her HomeSense business and herself in.
It's not as affordable out here as it was a few years ago, you know, and having that opportunity to live and work where you are and just have it as one, that's perfect.
So if you build an office or an office building, you have to supply something around 3 parking spaces per 1,000 square feet of office space. Or if you're building an apartment complex, you have to supply 1 or 2 parking places for every unit that you're building. So with all this parking that's required for everything that we do, parking becomes ubiquitous, it's free, and we all expect free parking everywhere we go. And because of that, we all drive everywhere.
The parking requirements started in earnest before World War II, and by the 1950s had become commonplace in American urban planning. The result in Phoenix is not only sprawl, but heat. Climate change has led to record-breaking summers in the Valley of the Sun.
One of the reasons that Phoenix is continuing to get hotter and hotter, especially in the summer months, it's the overnight temperatures that are really rising. And a lot of that is heat that's trapped in our roads and our parking lots that is just being released overnight.
With a mind toward climate change and sustainable development, Tempe's parking policies are evolving.
So we've reduced our parking requirements, especially if you're attached to a major public transit route, for example. We've made it easier to have less parking. We've also made our buildings face a street, face the pedestrian environment, face public transit, rather than having a building separated by a large parking lot from the street.
It's better to build walkable neighborhoods. It's better for climate. It's better for health. It's better for happiness. It's better for low cost of living. It's better for low cost of government. It's a better way to build cities, and it makes for a better life.
Whether the concept can be replicated elsewhere and whether there is political will to is an open question. For now, Cul-de-sac is a tiny oasis in a vast desert of suburban sprawl.
It's pretty much the middle of nowhere, open desert off Interstate 10 in Tonopah, 50 miles west of Phoenix. But it may not be empty space much longer. This undeveloped land could soon be transformed into a sprawling smart city with all the high-tech, cutting-edge gadgets you could ask for.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be a good change for us all.
I don't know if I would want technology to take too much control and take away from the human aspect of life.
A real estate investment firm owned by billionaire Bill Gates just bought the giant plot of land for $80 million, with the hope of building a forward-thinking community called Belmont, full of new technologies and high-speed data networks. The smart city would have the room for 80,000 homes, 3,800 acres of office and retail space, and 470 acres for public schools. The streets would be filled with self-driving cars, and every home equipped with features you control with your smartphone or iPad. Lights, thermostat, locking the front door.
We would be one of the first.
Ron Schott with the Arizona Technology Council tells us building a smart city from scratch is a lot easier than trying to rebuild an existing community.
If you asked people 5 years ago, will there be unmanned automobiles driving around in the Phoenix and the Valley, that have said you're nuts. But guess what? We've had them now for quite some time.
There's no timetable for when the smart city would be built, but Schott says it could easily be done in the next 5 to 10 years.